I have purchased another Tudor. I have. Do you know the difference between COS and METAS? We are now in 2025 and I have just purchased my first watch in Brenny's new collection. I wanted a watch that was a daily beater. I did. And I had a target of things that it must have from experience. I have made so many mistakes. This time I ain't gonna do it, guys. I want my first watch to be a daily beater, a tour watch, a proper watch that I can wear on a daily basis, and I can put it down at, let's say, 6 o'clock on a Friday, and then I can pick the watch up at, let's say, 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, and the watch is still working without me having to do any adjustments to the watch. The idea of it is it's an automatic watch that I shouldn't have to mess with. For that purpose, it has to be a non-date. You with me? A non-date with a long enough power reserve to meet that parameters. So the power reserve on this watch has got to be 70 hours minimum. If you do the math, Saturday and Sunday is 48 hours, 6 p.m. to midnight is 6 hours, midnight to 7 a.m. is 7 hours, that's 13 and 48. So the minimum requirement that you want from your daily beater, your daily automatic, is 61 hours. So that is why I am looking for 70 hours just to cover all bases. I also want the daily beater to have 20 ATMs, so super water resistant, super tough. I have messed up in the past by getting two watches that didn't have enough power reserve. I put them down, I go to pick them back up again, and the bloody thing isn't working, and we don't want to make that mistake again. Some other things about the watch that I have just purchased, hopefully I don't give it away just yet, is it's 41mm case. It's got a 21mm lug to lug. That's the only thing I'm not happy about. I don't want it to be a 21mm lug to lug. I have a load of straps that are 20mm and a load of NATO straps that are 20mm. So this watch having a 21mm lug to lug width for straps is going to be a pain in the ass, which means I'm going to have to buy more straps for this watch. Or if I'm going to wear a NATO strap on it, there's going to be a slight gap between the lug to lug. I think I'll just have to live with it because I have that many NATO straps to get through. So why compromise on this watch? Well, I'm telling you why. Because I have purchased another Tudor, and out of the range, most of the Tudors are COS certified. People say COS and they say how great it is, and then did you know that Rolex isn't COS certified? No, they've got their own certification and it is plus minus 2 seconds per day. COS, unfortunately, is -4 plus 6 seconds a day. That is no good to me. But Tudor also do certain watches that are METAS certified. METAS is guaranteed to be 0 plus 5 seconds a day, and that is why Brenny has had to choose this watch over all other watches, because this one is fantastic looking, doesn't have a date function, has a really nice bracelet without them god-awful fake rivets. It has a T-clasp for adjustment, and it also is a 5-link bracelet. You'd have to be a moron not to guess the watch that Brenny's just purchased. Right, give you some other things about this watch. It's thinner than a standard Tudor. It is only 13.6mm thick. So they finally done a Tudor that isn't too thick. What else can I say about this watch that doesn't give it away? I think I've told you enough, haven't I? I'm about to collect the watch. I bought it from H&T Jewellery, and next week I'm going to Bradford, would you believe, to their boutique to collect the watch. Now I have some inside information for you, but I have to be really careful how I do this so I don't upset people. No, I don't. There is a Tudor AD near me that no longer wants to be an AD. They advertised on Instagram that they're selling the lot at 25% off MSRP. They then got a phone call from Tudor to say, hey, you can't do that publicly and you'll destroy the brand, take down the advert. So they did. A subscriber reached out to me and said, hey, Brenny, I just got the watch that you said you wanted to get, and I got 25% off MSRP. At the time, the watch was 4K. He got it for 3. I rang up, I spoke to a really nice gentleman who didn't want me to put it on the channel, that I'd like the watch, and he said, I've got one left, and I booked an appointment to collect the watch. I did. I had the exact watch that I bought from H&T on hold at an official Tudor AD at an agreed price. I would have paid 2,950 quid for the watch. It's now 4,000. How much is the watch now? Let me just double check, guys. The watch is now, I haven't got the new price. I think it's 4,010, but at the time it was 3,910. So 25% off that. Just under 3K. It's a whopping £1,000 off directly from a Tudor AD, stamped January 2025. But then I was scrolling to H&T's website and I noticed that they had one available, a July, I believe it's a July 2024, a full set, but it was 3,000. It was. But Brenny used a special code that H&T have given me and are going to give to my subscribers, which allowed me to take another 10% off the watch. So I got the watch for £2,700. I did. Absolute bargain. So I contacted the Tudor AD and said thanks, but no thanks. And he said, no problem, I've already got another buyer for the watch. And then there's something else I want to share with you guys about Tudor ADs. There is something going on in Scotland. There is a grey market dealer that I know and love, and even now they are selling 2 Tudors stamped 2025 for about £500 each off MSRP. So that leads me to believe that this grey market dealer is getting fed Tudors through the back door straight to him, because he has Tudor after Tudor after Tudor, and up to Christmas he must have had, I don't know, 8 Tudors all unworn 2024. And now again, like I said, he's selling brand new 2025. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them up here. How is it possible that a grey market dealer has access to these watches? How is it possible? Tudor. Is there a Tudor AD in Scotland selling directly to the grey market? Sorry to interrupt, guys, but it gets worse. Pretty sure that this is a boutique feeding this grey market dealer, because when I went on to get the 2 pictures of the 2 2025s, they have a new addition to what they are currently selling. They are now selling a chronograph, the blue one, that you can only get from a boutique. They are clearly advertising it as new unworn for £4,495. I can't prove this, but this watch can only come from a boutique, not a Tudor AD, a Tudor boutique. So is Brenny right? Is a authorized Tudor boutique selling directly to the grey market? Because remember, this watch is new and unworn. New and unworn, a boutique edition. Tudor, pull your socks up. Get control of your ADs. You go in there as a walk-in, they gotta squeeze them to get this 5-10% off, but they're happy to let their watches go out the back door to a grey market dealer. Now, I can't prove any of this, because who would own up to this? What grey market dealer who's getting a constant feed of cheap is going to fess up? And what Tudor AD who's selling a constant stream of Tudors out the back door to a grey market dealer is going to fess up? Nobody, guys. So I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just saying, look how odd it is to have these two watches, January 2025, being sold by a grey market dealer at about 500 less than MSRP. You know, do the math, guys. Right, I've gone off track here. So what Brenny is doing now is Brenny is starting a new collection. The first watch in the collection is going to be his daily beater. It's a Tudor, and I'm collecting it next week from H&T. I'm going to be working with H&T, and the next watch I'm buying from H&T is going to be a Tag Heuer, would you believe? Yes, Brenny is expanding the new collection to incorporate multiple brands, and hopefully the watches I buy will inspire you guys to buy these watches and put these watches in your collection. Exciting times for 2025. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next Brenny video.